In a recent interview with SE Scoops, Mandy Rose mentioned that she could consider going back into the ring to find her spark again. She just made her first appearance in the ring since leaving WWE, and she admitted that it made her miss the arena. She claimed that since leaving WWE, her lifestyle has significantly changed, spending more time with her family and taking holidays off. She isn't sure whether she truly wants to sacrifice all of that for the grind once more. However, she admitted that there are days when she truly misses it and feels as though she needs the thrill of adrenaline once more. When asked what her personal version of a WWE comeback would entail, Mandy responded as follows: "I would say making that statement, whether it was on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown. I believe that since I made such a significant impression in NXT, it was time for me to perform on a large screen, either on Monday or Friday. NXT is fantastic, and what they've created is beyond incredible. Although I was with NXT, it was a much smaller setting. The ultimate aim is undoubtedly to appear on TV every week in front of large audiences and thousands of people. However, I believe that would be my ultimate objective if I were to return. I think the new Mandy Rose approach of not really giving a damn and going out there and kicking butt, whether or not it's with a group or not and I'm alone myself, that would be pretty awesome. An edgier Mandy." Final quotation. Furthermore, Mandy's strategy is clear-cut, sensible, and efficient. Mandy Rose last appeared in a wrestling ring while holding one of the best reigns ever for the NXT Women's title. Her professional trajectory seemed to be thriving. She began her career at NXT, was called up to the main roster, and ultimately returned to NXT. At the time, fans were curious as to whether or not that should be interpreted as a demotion and what precisely it meant for her to return to NXT. And all of a sudden, Mandy Rose completely changed who she was to become an unquestionable main event world title superstar. There was a lot of anticipation for Mandy's return to the main roster following the NXT title, and everyone was eager to see how the new main event version of Mandy Rose would perform. However, as we all know, it never happened because Mandy unexpectedly renounced the title and was fired from the company the very following morning for unclear reasons. Thus, if Mandy ever makes a comeback to the WWE, hopefully it will be on the main roster as she claims, and we will get to witness a new, reinvented Mandy rise on the main roster after all. One intriguing avenue for Mandy Rose's comeback would be to collaborate with Sonya Deville on the main cast. As Mandy's best friend, longtime nemesis in the WWE, and tag team partner, Sonya would be an incredible opponent to face on Raw if Mandy Rose were to reunite Toxic Attraction against Sonya Deville's new Pure Fusion Collective side. An all-time rivalry and best friend is being rekindled on Raw with a new faction versus faction match. Mandy Rose, Sonya's closest friend, is the one who will know all about her playbook and how to stop her. Mandy Rose appears to be the ideal way to stop Pure Fusion Collective as they grow more powerful and invincible and to once more take the other side of Sonya in the ring. However, what do you think of the stories from today? Please feel free to comment below, subscribe with all alerts enabled, and hit like if you found the content interesting. We'll start with Gunther and his upcoming opponent because WWE staged a little act for that particular circumstance. At first, it appeared as though CM Punk would challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship next. In the bash, Punk expressed his definite goal to win the world title. After the show in Berlin, he said categorically that he was done with Drew McIntyre and was going for the gold. A few nights later, we saw Punk repeat a very similar statement on Raw, saying that he was moving on from his feud with Drew McIntyre and concentrating on Gunther, putting him on notice for the World Heavyweight title. However, that statement would only last for a short while, as McIntyre viciously attacked Punk at the ring, demonstrating that their issues were far from over. And it does make sense to carry on with their feud since, at this point, it's the rubber match. They have each won once. This third match will serve as the tiebreaker and, most likely, be the last one in the feud. With the last 9 months of build-up on the line, it's CM Punk against Drew McIntyre for the third time, and this is for all the marbles. It's possible that the victor of this conflict may emerge as one of the strongest candidates for Gunther's world title, making it both a personal rivalry and a feud that could propel the winner back to the top of the rankings. But Gunther needs a new opponent until one of Drew McIntyre and CM Punk becomes available to confront him because they are having another bout. Additionally, the September 2nd edition of Raw did reveal to us who Gunther will actually face next: Sami Zayn. Perhaps you have a point if you want to be picky and ask what Sami Zayn has done recently to merit a world title battle. However, they made every effort to clarify why he felt he was the greatest opponent for Gunther out there. Sami argued that Gunther had ascended the WWE ladder in the proper sequence by first capturing the Intercontinental title, which he then used to become a world champion. Now Sami wanted to follow in Gunther's footsteps. Sami has concluded her tenure as Intercontinental Champion and is now aiming to become the World Champion. Additionally, to add context to this new rivalry, we should mention that only a few months prior, at WrestleMania 40, Sami Zayn defeated Gunther by pinning him in the middle of the ring, ending his historic Intercontinental Championship reign on the biggest stage of them all. Because of this, Sami has more credibility as a danger to Gunther because of their WrestleMania 40 match, because everyone still remembers Sami pinning Gunther. Sami's primary plot point in this rivalry will therefore be to keep reminding Gunther that he has previously defeated him once, so he can do it again. And that's a straightforward but extremely powerful storyline. Just a few months earlier, Sami pinned Gunther straight up with the World Heavyweight Championship on the line. If he succeeds this time, though, he will be declared the winner. But as they compete for the world title, does Sami Zayn really have a chance to unseat Gunther? Probably not. Unfortunately for Sami, it appears that history will not repeat itself in this instance. Rather, it appears that Gunther will prevail. Even yet, Gunther has a strong storyline going into the bout. It is somewhat similar to his storyline against Randy Orton. At King of the Ring, Gunther defeated Randy Orton in a contentious matchup where Randy's shoulders were off the canvas for almost the whole pin count. Gunther then stated that he needed to make amends and show himself that he could defeat Randy Orton, which he most definitely did at Bash in Berlin. He will now have to perform similarly against the man who put an end to his historic Intercontinental title reign. He will need to exact revenge on the man who caused that loss and convince himself that he can still defeat Sami Zayn. Given all of the stories these two shared just earlier this year, the feud and plot should be intriguing.